Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol 2, a closer look. Come on, let's be real. The Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol rematch is going to be an absolute masterclass of boxing at its highest level. Set for February 22nd, 2025, in what's shaping up to be boxing's version of the Super Bowl. This isn't just another fight. It's a collision of two undefeated warriors looking to settle the score once and for all. If you weren't lucky enough to catch their first encounter, let me paint you a picture of what went down.
Get their jab off first here. Who can get in the rhythm?
Two undefeated champions, no trash talk, no theatrics, just pure, undiluted boxing excellence.
Smart movement from Bivol. Staying out of danger.
Bivol came out showcasing his razor-sharp technical skills, setting a blistering pace that would have broken most fighters.
Surgery just 5 months ago, but he's moving.
But Beterbiev, man, this guy is built different. He just kept coming, round after round, like a freight train that refuses to slow down.
Shots.
The first fight was so close that even when it nearly ended in a draw, the most hardcore fans couldn't argue. It was one of those rare moments in boxing where neither man deserved to lose their undefeated record. But now it's personal.
At the end of the round, they set a touch on them, just stealing.
This isn't just about belts anymore. It's about proving who's truly the better fighter. Let's talk about what makes this rematch so special. First up, we've got Dmitry Bivol. This guy's boxing IQ is off the charts. In the first fight, he showed us exactly why he's considered one of the slickest boxers in the game. His footwork, poetry in motion, his jab, sharp as a razor. But here's where it gets interesting. Bivol's trainer says we haven't even seen his best yet. They're promising a more aggressive Bivol this time around, and if that's true, man, we're in for a treat. Then there's Artur Beterbiev. Let me tell you something about this guy. He just turned 40, but age, that's just a number to him. Before the first Bivol fight, this man had a 100% knockout ratio. Think about that for a second. Every single person who stepped in the ring with him got stopped. Bivol became the first man to hear the final bell, but don't think for a second that Beterbiev's power has diminished. If anything, he's getting more dangerous with age. What's fascinating about this matchup is how little the physical dimensions matter. Bivol's got a slight height advantage, but Beterbiev matches him in reach. And when it comes to power, both men can turn the lights out with a single shot. In the first fight, we saw Bivol's precision against Beterbiev's pressure, and it was like watching a master chess match with bombs attached.
Lovely variation of the jab, just stop.
Here's what's really interesting. Both camps have been studying that first fight like it's the holy grail of boxing. Bivol's team noticed that when they landed clean shots, Beterbiev would adjust but never back down. On the flip side, when Beterbiev connected, Bivol had to use every trick in his arsenal to maintain distance. It's these little details that could make all the difference in the rematch. Let's break down what each fighter needs to do to win. For Bivol, the game plan seems clear. He needs to be even sharper than last time. His team has mentioned they want him to stay ahead and keep the lead. This suggests they're looking to bank the early rounds and build a cushion on the scorecards. But here's the thing. Can he maintain that pace for 12 rounds against a guy who seems to have an endless gas tank? Beterbiev's approach? Well, as he puts it himself, when you get older, you get smarter. He doesn't need to change much from the first fight, but he needs to be more efficient with his energy.
Nothing to take away from Artur Beterbiev. I mean, he did a really, really good job, and there's no doubt that the fight was close.
In the later rounds of their first encounter, he started finding home for those heavy shots. If he can start that process earlier in the rematch, we might see him put a dent in Bivol's incredible defense. The stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just about the light heavyweight titles anymore. This is about legacy. Both men know that whoever wins this fight will be remembered as one of the greatest light heavyweights of their era. And let's be honest, in a sport where undefeated records are protected like crown jewels, seeing two unbeatens willing to risk it all twice, that's something special. The location adds another layer of intrigue. Saudi Arabia has become boxing's new megastage, and they're pulling out all the stops for this one. The atmosphere is going to be electric. We're talking about a venue packed with boxing royalty, celebrities, and thousands of passionate fans. The pressure cooker environment could play a huge role in how this fight unfolds.
We have revanche if he wants revanche. No problem.
Let's talk about the X factors. First, there's the age question. Beterbiev is 40 now, and while he hasn't shown signs of slowing down, Father Time is undefeated. Could this be the fight where age finally catches up to him? Or will his experience and ring wisdom prove even more valuable this time around?
Beterbiev is mauling right now. Right uppercut comes in from Beterbiev.
For Bivol, the pressure might be mental. He's younger, theoretically in his prime, and many felt he edged the first fight. Does that create additional pressure to perform even better? Or does it give him the confidence to take more risks? The boxing world is absolutely buzzing about this rematch. The first fight showed us that styles make fights, and these styles mesh perfectly. Bivol's technical brilliance against Beterbiev's relentless pressure, speed versus power, youth versus experience. It's everything that makes boxing great, wrapped up in one package. Here's another fascinating angle. Both men have become better fighters since their first meeting. Bivol's team says he's added new wrinkles to his game, while Beterbiev has shown an even higher boxing IQ in recent outings. When you combine that with their intimate knowledge of each other from the first fight, we're looking at a potential masterpiece. The timing of this fight is perfect too. The light heavyweight division is red hot right now, and the winner of this bout will have a target on their back.
Do you believe that this fight deserves a rematch? Would you like to do it again?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
There are hungry contenders waiting in the wings. But first, these two giants of the sport need to settle their unfinished business. Let's address the elephant in the room. Can this fight live up to the first one? History tells us that rematches between elite fighters often surpass their first encounters. Think about Ward Gotti 2, Barrera Morales 2, or more recently, Fury Wilder 2. The build-up to this fight has been refreshingly old school. No trash talk, no social media beefs, just two supreme athletes preparing for war. In an era where much of boxing has become about entertainment first and sports second, Beterbiev and Bivol remind us what this sport is really about. As we get closer to fight night, the anticipation is building. Boxing fans around the world are picking sides, breaking down footage of the first fight, and arguing about what adjustments each fighter needs to make. But here's the beautiful thing. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. That's the magic of boxing at its highest level. The unpredictability, the drama, and the sheer brilliance of two elite athletes pushing each other to their absolute limits. Let's also look back at the broader implications of this rematch. Beyond the accolades, belts, and legacies, this fight also speaks volumes about the state of boxing itself. In a time where mega fights often get delayed due to politics, purse splits, or promotional disputes, Beterbiev and Bivol's willingness to fight twice is a breath of fresh air. It's a testament to their warrior spirit and respect for the sport and their fans. Now, speaking of fans, this rematch will undoubtedly draw a diverse crowd. Hardcore boxing enthusiasts will marvel at the technical mastery on display.
Mainly just his power. His power along with his aggression and with his subtle face.
While casual fans will tune in for the sheer spectacle. It's one of those rare fights that bridges the gap between the purists and the mainstream. It's a fight that reminds us why boxing has endured as one of the most captivating sports in history. And let's not forget the role of their respective trainers in this saga. Bivol's trainer, known for his analytical approach, has been working tirelessly to iron out any kinks in his fighter's armor. He's hinted at a strategy that emphasizes not just technical brilliance, but also mental toughness. On the other hand, Beterbiev's corner has adopted a more old-school approach, focusing on conditioning and sharpening the tools that have made him such a fearsome opponent. The battle between the trainers will be just as intriguing as the clash in the ring.
Again, Bivol is a good fighter, and he was making those step back. Like, you want to touch the body, but he's not there. Like, he controlled the distance very good.
Another fascinating aspect is the psychological warfare that comes into play. While both fighters are known for their calm and composed demeanors, you can't ignore the mind games that naturally occur when two elite athletes prepare to face off. Will Bivol's confidence from hearing the final bell in their first bout give him an edge? Or will Beterbiev's hunger to reassert his dominance prove too overwhelming? And what about the physical toll of their first encounter? Let's not underestimate how grueling their initial fight was. Both men pushed their bodies to the limit, enduring a level of punishment that would have broken lesser fighters. For Bivol, it was about outpacing and outmaneuvering a relentless juggernaut. For Beterbiev, it was about walking through fire to land his heavy artillery. That level of physical and mental strain leaves a mark. The question is, who has recovered better and who has the gas tank to go through it all again? The rematch also raises questions about adjustments. One of the most compelling aspects of elite boxing is watching how fighters adapt. In the first fight, Bivol's strategy revolved around precision and movement. He used his superior footwork and timing to frustrate Beterbiev, landing clean shots and avoiding prolonged exchanges. But can he replicate that strategy for 12 rounds again? Or will Beterbiev find ways to cut off the ring more effectively, forcing Bivol into the kind of firefight that favors the heavier hitter? Beterbiev, for his part, might look to impose his will earlier in the rematch. In their first meeting, he started slow, perhaps wary of Bivol's counterpunching ability. But as the rounds went on, he began to close the distance, landing thudding body shots and hooks that visibly slowed Bivol down. If he can start faster this time, he might be able to break Bivol's rhythm and put him on the back foot early. Let's not forget the importance of conditioning. At 40, Beterbiev's stamina will be under the microscope. While he's shown incredible endurance throughout his career, age can be an unpredictable factor. Will he have the legs to keep pressuring Bivol for 12 rounds? Or will we see signs of fatigue if the fight goes into the championship rounds? On the flip side, Bivol, despite being younger, will need to ensure he doesn't burn out from the high-energy style he employed in the first fight. His success depends on his ability to stay active, keep his distance, and maintain his composure under relentless pressure. Now let's dive into the broader historical significance of this fight. The light heavyweight division has seen its share of legends. Fighters like Roy Jones Jr., Archie Moore, and Bernard Hopkins have all left their mark. The winner of Beterbiev versus Bivol II will undoubtedly join that illustrious list. This isn't just about winning a belt, it's about etching your name into the annals of boxing history. And when two undefeated fighters clash, the stakes are even higher. Undefeated records carry an aura of invincibility, and the man who loses this fight will have to deal with the sting of that first blemish on his record. The rematch also serves as a statement about what boxing should be. Too often we see fighters avoiding challenges, protecting their records, or engaging in meaningless tune-ups. Beterbiev and Bivol are bucking that trend, showing that the best should fight the best, even if it means risking everything. Their willingness to put it all on the line is a reminder of what makes boxing so compelling: the courage, the drama, and the pursuit of greatness. As fight night approaches, the atmosphere is reaching a fever pitch. Social media is ablaze with predictions, breakdowns, and debates.
It's very soon we could prepare ourselves better for this rematch.
Fans are dissecting every detail, from the fighters' training footage to their interviews. The boxing community is divided, with some favoring Bivol's technical brilliance and others backing Beterbiev's raw power and tenacity. The beauty of this fight is that it's genuinely a 50-50 matchup. There's no clear favorite, no easy narrative. It's the kind of fight that keeps you on the edge of your seat because anything can happen. And let's talk about what a win would mean for each fighter. For Bivol, a victory would solidify his status as one of the greatest technical boxers of his generation. He's already earned respect for his disciplined style and impressive resume. But beating Beterbiev in a rematch would elevate him to a whole new level. It would be a career-defining moment, a testament to his skill, heart, and ability to rise to the occasion. For Beterbiev, a win would be equally monumental. At 40 years old, he's already defying the odds, competing at an elite level in a sport that often chews up and spits out older fighters. Beating Bivol would cement his legacy as one of the most fearsome light heavyweights of all time. It would also be a validation of his old-school approach to boxing, a style built on fundamentals, grit, and unrelenting pressure. The undercard for this fight is also worth mentioning. While the spotlight is firmly on Beterbiev and Bivol, the promoters have put together a stacked lineup of fights to ensure a memorable event. Rising stars, established contenders, and fan favorites will all take to the ring, adding to the excitement and giving fans their money's worth. It's the kind of card that reminds you why boxing is called the sweet science, a blend of raw emotion, strategy, and spectacle. As we inch closer to February 22nd, the excitement is palpable. Beterbiev versus Bivol 2 isn't just a rematch. It's a moment in history. 2 undefeated champions, 1 ring, and 12 rounds to settle it all. Who will emerge victorious? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, we're in for something special. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this, and let us know in the comments who you think takes the rematch. Will it be Bivol's technique or Beterbiev's power?